Hello there, and welcome to Sleepy Tales by John, a quiet corner where we gently set the long day aside and drift into soft journeys together. I'm truly glad you found your way here, among all the noise of the world. Maybe today has been a long day, or maybe you simply want to hear a story before drifting into sleep. Whatever the reason may be, tonight, this place is for you. Tonight, we're stepping into a very special story. The story of the moment humanity left Earth, left behind the gentle atmosphere we were born into, and entered outer space. A place where sound becomes unfamiliar, where there is no air to breathe, and where the ground no longer waits beneath our feet. A vast, dark expanse, where every familiar rule quietly dissolves. Out there, human life should not exist, and yet, in a strange and beautiful way, we chose to go, building rockets hotter than the surface of stars, and training astronauts to do things that almost defy possibility. We learned to preserve life where biology begins to falter, a bold journey, a frightening one, but also the only path that allows us to see what lies on the other side of the sky. If these gentle night journeys bring you comfort, you may leave a small token of affection, a like, a subscription, or even a quiet comment. It helps other tired souls find their way here. But right now, you don't need to do anything at all. Just soften your body, slow your breathing, and let sleep drift toward you. Now then, let's begin. Let your mind open slowly, like a small doorway leading us into a cosmic fairy tale. A story that began long, long before humans learned to look up at the sky and wonder. From here, we'll gently slip back to the very first moment, when everything was still only light. Try to imagine, before the first stars existed, before any planet or galaxy formed, the universe was once so small it could fit into the palm of your hand. A palm full of molten gold, warm, glowing, soft like a newborn ray of sunlight. There was no direction, no width or depth. Only an ocean of radiant light so dense you might believe that if you reached out, you could touch it as though light were something you could feel with your fingertips. In that earliest moment, space had no borders, no sense of near or far. Light was trapped inside a thick chaos of particles and energy, like rays caught inside a locked glass lantern. You could imagine the early universe as one enormous glowing lamp, where light could only swirl within itself, unable to move in straight lines or escape. A place both brilliant and mysterious, as though it were holding its breath, waiting for something to begin. And within that silent breath-holding, the universe's first pulses stirred. Not heartbeats as we know them, but tiny, delicate shifts in the storm of energy. Neutrinos slipped free from the turmoil, like the first birds leaving a crowded nest. Light, though imprisoned, continued to dance patiently, as if knowing that one day it would be released. You may close your eyes a moment and imagine yourself floating in that ocean of light. Not hot, not blinding, just a warm glow brushing against your skin, like resting your hand beneath a gentle late afternoon sunbeam. No sound, no wind, no darkness to compare it to, only light. Primal, pure, untouched by color or form. Then, slowly, so slowly, the universe began to expand. Like watching a drop of honey spread across a white plate, widening, bit by bit, silently, effortlessly. As space stretched, that ocean of light cooled, losing the tension of its earliest days. It softened, mellowed, and began to turn into the kind of light we can feel, understand, and see when night falls. During this cooling, as temperatures dropped and energy settled, particles began to find one another. Protons reached out to electrons. The first bonds formed, like the first gentle touch in a dance waiting to begin. And once those bonds settled, light, after hundreds of thousands of years of confinement, was finally released. The moment light was freed, the universe became clear for the first time. The rays no longer tangled with obstacles. They streamed outward in every direction, traveling vast distances, like switching on a lantern in a dark room and watching its glow slip into every quiet corner. And the most beautiful part? That light still exists to this very day. It never disappeared. It was stretched by the expansion of space, growing dimmer, colder, like the last warmth lingering in a cup of tea left on the table. If you look up at the night sky right now, truly look, you're seeing those ancient remnants of the first ocean of light. Faint, ghost-like whispers from the universe's birth. Soft as breath, yet strong enough to survive more than 13 billion years. They surround you, surround this room, surround our tiny planet like a thin, almost invisible blanket. And if you slow down just enough, you might imagine that the sky around you isn't only black and star-dotted, but also carries a veil of ancient light gently resting against your body. Quiet, patient, serene. Take a slow breath in and notice how, as you exhale, you might feel yourself expanding with the universe. A little lighter, a little wider. The sharp edges of your day softened by that ancient glow. The universe began with light, and somehow, you're listening to that story now, letting it blend into the rhythm of your own breath. And from that first ocean of light, from those earliest vibrations, small ripples spread outward. Ripples that will become our next chapter. All right, now it's time to leave that primordial sea of light, where illumination was first set free, where the universe took its very first gentle breath. You might feel something waiting just ahead, as though beyond that warm haze, another door is opening. A door leading us into an even more wondrous scene. The moment space began to swell beyond imagination. From light we drift into gardens, blooming in the silence of creation. Imagine, before you lies a soft darkness, not heavy or harsh, but velvety like black silk. And from deep within that darkness, a pale light begins to unfurl. Not from one point, but from everywhere at once. It doesn't explode like fireworks, doesn't roar like thunder. It opens slowly, like petals filled with quiet life. The universe is growing, expanding, stretching, faster than words can truly capture. But if we transform this moment into something gentler, something your heart can hold, we might imagine it as a colossal tree, blooming its very first buds. It's a soothing image, isn't it? A great tree, not rooted in soil, but rooted in the fabric of space-time itself. Its roots don't sink downward. Instead, they weave into the void, drawing threads of light like strands of celestial silk. Its branches spread in every direction, as though trying to embrace existence newly born. And on those branches, countless buds begin to swell. Each bud is a universe, a tiny pocket of space, bubble of reality blossoming from the rapid expansion of the early cosmos. The multiverse, when seen not through mathematics, but through the heart, becomes nothing more than an endless garden where each flower is a version of reality. Each holds its own story, its own history, its own sky. And our universe is just one petal, one beautiful, vast petal, containing billions of galaxies and trillions of wondering hearts. Yet still only one petal in a garden so wide that even light could never cross it all. Close your eyes now and imagine yourself standing in that garden. The space around you stretches out endlessly. On both sides, petals glow softly, swelling like enormous soap bubbles. Some are translucent, some shimmer with violet hues, some glisten like water at sunset, and all of them are silent. No wind, no birds, no footsteps, only the endless, gentle blooming, like the quiet breathing of an eternal dream. In that vision, you reach out to touch the nearest petal. It is neither cold nor warm. It feels like condensed light floating beneath your fingertips, soft as silk, weightless as dust in sunlight. Inside that petal is our universe, its galaxies, its stars, its planets, and even you. One small point in an impossibly vast story, a story that began billions of years before you arrived and will continue drifting softly long after you fall asleep tonight. But the most astonishing part is this. You are looking at this garden from outside. You're stepping beyond the boundaries of familiar three-dimensional space. You're standing where time isn't a straight thread, but a gentle stream curling around your ankles. From here, you can see how other buds are blooming too. Some have bloomed long ago. Some are just beginning to glow from the darkness. Some may have folded close, leaving behind only a faint shadow. Perhaps in another petal, the laws of physics differ. Perhaps light particles weigh a little more. Perhaps gravity is stronger or softer. Perhaps there are universes where stars never ignite or where light never fades. If you listen closely enough, you might feel the garden breathing with you. Each time you inhale, the petals seem to swell slightly. Each time you exhale, they soften, leaning back as though waiting for a nighttime blessing. And in that gentle harmony, you may sense something simple and profound. No matter how vast the cosmos is, no matter how many realities drift alongside ours, your journey still matters. Because you are here, listening, breathing, letting your mind brush against the blooming petals of existence. When we say our universe is just one petal, it doesn't make it smaller. If anything, it reminds us that every moment within this petal is precious, because it happens only once, exactly as it is. And more than that, the fact that you're lying here tonight in a quiet room, letting your mind wander through this garden, makes you a natural part of it. Let your breath flow once more, long and slow, like a petal opening. And from this vast garden, we drift onward to another place, a realm where ancient dark wells hold the memories of the universe's very beginning. There, they do not glow like the petals. They do not shimmer with golden haze like the early fields of plasma. Instead, they simply rest, quiet, unmoving, like stone wells hidden deep within a forest of flowers, calling to no one, and yet always present. Do you see them? Those dark dots, those patches that reflect no light, give no warmth, whisper no sound. They are primordial black holes, the silent wells of absolute stillness. Unlike black holes formed from the deaths of giant stars, these primordial ones existed long before stars were born. They are among the oldest things the universe possesses, time markers compressed into the purest form of gravity. Take a slower step now. Let your imagined feet touch the empty space before you, and look down into one of these ancient wells. There is no bottom, no color, no shape, only a soft, round darkness, as though space itself has curled inward into a single drop of perfect black ink. And even without a defined form, you can feel it telling a story, not with sound, not with words, but with the sheer weight of its presence. Primordial black holes are like the first pages of the universe's diary, written in vibrations, in ripples, in the compressed pulses of a newborn space-time. In this moment, you may close your eyes and imagine yourself sitting beside a well that is impossibly deep and impossibly wide, beyond anything you've ever known. No wind blows here, no insects buzz, no water trickles, no leaf falls, only an ancient silence, a silence older than light itself. When you lean in and look down, you see nothing. But beneath that dark surface lies the entire early history of the universe, compressed, coiled, held tight like a secret never spoken. The first collisions, the earliest gravitational waves, the trembling of inflation, the unstable moments, the ripples, the newborn beats of reality. All of it rests inside that well, not lost, not erased, simply sinking deeper as time passes above it. If light was once imprisoned in the primordial plasma, then information, the memories of the universe, is captured at the edges of black holes. They say information can never truly disappear. It only changes form. In this case, it lies on a fragile membrane around each black hole, like a story inscribed in a language only space-time can read. Let your mind drift lightly, and notice how time behaves differently here. Outside, time is a gentle stream flowing ever forward, each second following the next. But near this ancient well, time becomes thick, like honey sinking to the bottom of a cup. You might feel that if you reached out your hand, you could touch time, as though your fingers could meet the dense, dark water at the bottom of the well. And strangely, the closer you get, the slower time moves. Moments stretch, thoughts deepen, your heartbeat softens, as if syncing with the quiet rhythm of space-time itself. It is strange, yes, but also deeply soothing, like stepping into a silent room where the world outside gently fades away, leaving only the rise and fall of your own breath. This is the feeling a primordial black hole carries, a stillness not of death, but of memory. The universe's memory. Memory of the first motions. Memory of the beginning. You may imagine the black hole as a well of time, where every vibration of the young universe is carved into its walls. Each ripple is a sentence, each oscillation a line of text, each gravitational wave an entire chapter. When light cannot escape, memory remains, lingering, swirling, impossibly slow but forever present. And perhaps this is the moment you notice your own breathing, slower, wider, longer, because when your heart quiets enough to hear the silence of a black hole, you're also touching a small quietness inside yourself, a place without hurry, without worry, without noise, a place of pure, gentle being. And just as every well invites us to look deeper into the earth, primordial black holes invite us to peer deeper into the universe and into ourselves. If you can feel that stillness, then you are ready for the next step of the journey, to walk along the delicate roads of light, where the colossal structures of the universe weave themselves into a vast tapestry, stretching in every direction. Here there is no blinding brightness, no violent glow, only a soft radiance, thin, tender, like strands of silk suspended in the night. You step gently into this space and realize that the universe, no matter how immense it seems, has an architecture, fragile in appearance, yet enduring beyond comprehension. It is as though someone patiently sat for billions of years to weave a tapestry as large as space-time itself, a tapestry whose threads are as wide as galaxies, yet so fine that you can see them only when you stand very still, breathe very slowly, and listen. Imagine yourself drifting weightlessly, your feet not touching any ground, your hands no longer needing to hold anything. Your body is suspended in the darkness, and beneath you, stretching from one horizon to the other, are roads of light. They aren't straight. They aren't even. They aren't perfect. But they are beautiful in a way words can't express. These threads are cosmic filaments, the paths where galaxy meets galaxy, where light follows light, where gravity gathers matter, like the steady hand of a silent weaver. Look down, and you see it clearly. In some places, the threads cluster into bright knots, galaxy clusters, where thousands upon thousands of galaxies swirl together like summer fireflies, gathering in the warm night air. Elsewhere, the filament stretches thin, so delicate it becomes only a faint curve, yet still determined to connect two distant islands of light. And in some places, a single thread branches suddenly into many paths, like the roots of a colossal tree growing in the darkness of the cosmos. Can you hear it? scuff, just like a... These threads have a rhythm. Not loud, not fast, but gentle, like the breathing of someone asleep beside you. Behind every strand is the binding presence of dark matter, the unseen framework holding the universe together. Like the hidden stitching beneath embroidered cloth, no one sees it, but without it, nothing stands. And woven between these radiant paths lie regions so vast they are almost unimaginable. Cosmic voids. But in this part of our tale, they are not emphasized as emptiness. Rather, they are the spaces that make the pattern complete. Just as a melody is only beautiful because of its pauses, the universe is only beautiful because of its vast, quiet gaps. Let your mind drift deeper into this cosmic tapestry. You see an enormous galactic wall, long, radiant bands stretching far into the distance. You see light columns, where gravity pulls millions of galaxies into slim, shimmering rivers. You see arching filaments curving gently, like threads bending under the motion of time. And then you notice the oldest dust in the universe, neutrinos. They do not shine like stars. They are not heavy like planets. They do not endure like galaxies. But they pass through everything, through planets, through your body, through these threads of light. And they have done so for billions of years. Neutrinos are like tiny, shimmering specks of dust floating in the air when you open your window in the morning. Small, silent, yet present everywhere, like faint traces of the universe brushing past you every second. In this moment, you may place your hand on your chest and imagine yourself drifting along one of the threads in the cosmic tapestry. Not fast, not slow, simply drifting. You are part of that very architecture. A single point in the great fabric of space, a soft glimmer woven into an ancient embroidered cloth. And when you close your eyes, you might even feel yourself becoming one of those neutrino particles. Light, invisible, free, untouched by anything. You drift through the delicate pathways of light, glide above the silent voids, listening to the universe breathe deeply, like an endless ocean. From these pathways, our journey leads us to a place even more extraordinary, a region of space we once thought was empty, yet one that is full of quiet pulses, invisible ripples, and the secret heartbeat of quantum energy. If you're ready, take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. Allow your breath to blend with the woven fabric of the universe. And then, as we continue drifting along those thin, silk-like threads of light, you'll begin to notice something strange. The luminous strands, as beautiful as they are not the whole story. Just as in embroidery, what you see on the surface is only one layer. Beneath it lies a foundation, silent, steady, unseen, that supports everything above. The universe is the same. Between the glowing pathways, between the galaxy knots and the vast, hollow valleys, lies a darkness that seems completely empty. A soft, clear, velvety darkness you might easily mistake for nothingness. But the truth is different. As you let yourself descend deeper, slipping past the glowing threads and leaving behind the great cosmic web stretching across the sky, you begin to feel a faint rustle, as soft as the breath of someone fast asleep in a quiet room. Like the muted pulse of a heart with no flesh, no blood, yet beating steadily. This is, but in reality, it is not empty at all. Imagine standing at the edge of a dim, boundless sea. Its surface is dark, but not with the darkness of black holes. It is a softer darkness, like a veil of silk drawn gently over your eyes. The waves do not crash. They do not roar. They simply rise and fall in small, delicate ripples, touching one another the way long breaths meet in silence. This is the quantum sea of energy, where invisible waves are constantly appearing and fading, just like the fleeting thoughts that drift through a human mind. You will close your eyes for a moment. Inhale. When your mind grows quiet enough, you begin to realize that the vacuum of the universe is never still. Pairs of particles and antiparticles flicker into existence and vanish in an instant. Space, instead of being silent, is filled with a background hum of countless tiny vibrations we will never hear. We often think the vacuum is empty, but no, it is alive. It breathes. It preserves every possibility that could ever be, like an ocean filled with infinite paths waiting to form. Imagine dipping your hand into that dark sea. You don't feel water, but you sense a faint warmth, as though something beneath the surface is stirring, preparing to give birth to something new. These are quantum fluctuations, the foundation of time, of space, and of every particle that makes up your body. Every tiny ripple you sense here is the first step toward everything. Atoms, light, stars, galaxies, and the very life breathing through you now. And strangely, this same ocean of energy may be what is stretching the universe wider every moment. Not with forceful blasts, not with thunderous explosions, but with a gentle widening of silence. No sound, no announcement. Just space itself, the invisible lungs of the cosmos, expanding slowly, steadily, bit by bit, breath by breath. You can feel that expansion now if you wish. Place your hand over your abdomen. Inhale slowly, deeply. And imagine, with every breath in, the space before you widens. With every breath out, the universe behind you expands one more degree. You don't need to know why. You don't need to calculate anything. Just feel yourself sinking into the rhythm of an endless sea. A sea that seems empty, but is, in truth, the birthplace of everything. As you drift through this quiet ocean, you realize that silence comes in many layers. There is the silence of darkness, the silence between galaxies, and the silence of the vacuum itself. A silence not still, but full of trembling softness. You are within that third silence, the deepest one, the layer where every story begins. If you settle into it a little more, you will begin to sense other pulses, not from particles, not from light, but from the first living beings of the cosmos, the earliest stars, singing their ancient songs from the next chapter of our journey. And that is exactly where we are going next, as the invisible sea behind you fades gently away. Ahead of you, a new kind of light begins to appear. Faint at first, then clearer, like tiny sparks dancing in a morning mist. It is as if the universe is carefully revealing the next page, the page that tells of its very first luminous creatures. Those lights are the first stars, the giant torches that open the long history of the cosmos we are drifting through tonight. Imagine yourself floating in a darkness so deep that even a single glimmer becomes unbelievably radiant. And then, from the heart of that primordial night, the first stars ignite, blazing with a brilliance millions of times brighter than our sun, so hot that nothing nearby could remain whole. These first stars burn quickly. They are not gentle candles like the stars of today. They are more like torches fueled by the fire of the universe itself. They flare violently and fade within a few million years, a brief heartbeat compared to the quiet ages of galaxies. And when one of those stars dies, it does not simply vanish. It folds inward, collapsing under its own weight, and sinks into itself, becoming a primordial black hole, a dark well born from the very fire that created it. Imagine each star as a booming drumbeat in the night, and its final collapse as a deep, resonant silence. Not frightening, but like the opening of a new doorway. That black hole will one day sit at the heart of a young galaxy, drawing matter toward it, shaping the cosmic structures that billions of years later humans look up at in wonder. They are like heavy, enduring black hearts, beating silently at the center of each galaxy. You can imagine yourself floating before one of these black holes. There's nothing to see but darkness. Yet you feel a gentle pull, a soft gravity gathering everything around it. Not to destroy, but to center, to organize, to guide. It is not a destroyer, but an anchor point, the conductor of the grand galactic dance. And then from far away you notice a very slow, very faint motion, as if all of space is drifting along a colorless current. That is the great cosmic flow, the river of gravity pulling our Milky Way toward a deep attractor hundreds of millions of light years away. You cannot see it, just as you cannot see underground rivers beneath the earth, but you know it's there. It tugs us forward, gently, persistently, the way a soft breeze can push a dry leaf across vast distances, without the leaf ever realizing how. If you listen closely, you'll notice that this movement feels like an echo of the rhythm you sensed in the quantum sea, a quiet, unhurried propagation that leaves no sound, no mark, and yet continues unbroken. And within that gentle flow, black holes, dying stars, ancient light, all drift together, following the same invisible music. You can try to imagine yourself lying on a very large boat, drifting across the ocean of space. The boat doesn't shake, doesn't sway. It simply glides forward, light as a dream. Behind you is the sea of still energy. In front of you are the very first torches of the universe. All around you is the great current carrying you, as it carries entire galaxies, towards some distant region that humans haven't yet found a name for. Breathe in, very gently, and breathe out, very slowly. As you drift on, the light from those first stars grows farther away, dimmer and softer, and you begin to see the bigger picture, like a door opening to lead you toward the edge of sight, where there are regions light has never yet reached. And just like that, in your quiet drifting, the scenery shifts so naturally, as if the universe is gently extending a hand, inviting you into a new realm, a place the human eye can only touch with imagination. And that is where the boundaries of light begin to appear. Try looking a little farther out, beyond the glittering spots of galaxies, and even beyond the shadows of black holes. Look to the place where light seems to stop, grow thin, and fade into the invisible space ahead. The space there resembles the horizon as seen from the shore, where sky and sea blend into a hazy band with no clear dividing line. But unlike the horizon on Earth, the cosmic horizon is not a true limit. It is only the farthest point light has been able to reach us from, after more than 13 billion years of travel. And you know, beyond that boundary is not an ending. It is simply a region where light is still on its way, on a journey so long that human time is nothing more than a brief flicker. Light from even more distant places is still moving, still traveling, but it has never yet touched us. Not because it has vanished, but because the speed between us and those places is so vast that even at the speed of light, it cannot cross that distance within the current age of the universe. If you listen with your heart, you'll feel something very special, as though you are standing at the edge of an ancient map, a map not yet complete, where the furthest corners remain blank, unnamed. And the night sky you look at every evening, it is not really a single, uniform picture. It is a map of time, layered upon itself, page over page. A nearby star may have sent out its light only a few hundred years ago. A more distant galaxy brings you light from 10 billion years in the past. A faint quasar at the very edge of our observable horizon sends us signals from a time when the universe was still very young. Every point of light belongs to a different era. And when you look at the sky, you are actually seeing through layers of time as if reading a giant diary whose pages are placed at different distances. Try closing your eyes for a moment, then opening them slowly, and imagine the night sky before you as a soft, flexible map. A map woven from light spanning centuries, millennia, and entire cosmic ages. There are regions glowing clearly, that is, the nearby present. There are dimmer areas, retreating into the deep past. And then there are places completely dark, not because there is nothing there, but because light from there has not yet arrived. Imagine you are walking with your imagination, carefully placing one step at a time onto that map. Each step is an era passing. One more step and you've moved back millions of years. Another gentle step, and you arrive in the epoch when the universe was just beginning to awaken. There is no sound, no wind, only the sense that you are turning the pages of a massive book using nothing but your own breathing. If you pay close attention, you'll notice something beautiful. Even the darkest regions are not nothingness. They are simply spaces in waiting. Waiting for light to arrive. Waiting for enough time to pass so that their secrets can be revealed. The universe is not hiding anything from us. It just unfolds at its own pace. And all we need to do is be patient, breathe slowly, and let ourselves drift along with that journey. And as you stand at that boundary of light, you may sense a rare kind of quiet. The quiet that comes from knowing there are still things beyond our understanding, and yet they don't trouble us. Instead, they make us humble, softer, and they help sleep come more easily. Because beyond the edge of light, even stranger stories are waiting. Possible endings of the universe. The ways in which everything might fade, or collapse, or expand without limit. And that is where we will drift next. To the place where light stops, where the dark spaces seem both asleep and waiting for someone to say their name. And perhaps you will sense something very faint, that beyond every limit of our vision, beyond every boundary light has not yet crossed, there are stories even longer, even deeper. Like chapters in a book we haven't turned to yet. And just like any book ever written, no matter how vast, it still has a first page and a final page. There is a very gentle moment when, looking into that endless darkness, you feel a question rise quietly within you. How will this universe end? Will it fall asleep? Or will it simply turn into another chapter we have never read? The question comes and goes, soft as stardust. And in that fragile instant, like an invitation, you step slowly into the next chapter, a chapter of possible endings, of futures so distant that every human worry dissolves into nothing. Let your breathing become soft and deep, and imagine the universe as a giant being moving through its own lifetime. Each star is a heartbeat, each galaxy a motion, and all of space is a vast body within which we are merely tiny cells drifting along with its flow. And just like everything that lives, no matter how large, the universe carries within it the possibility of endings, not as a tragedy, but as a natural cycle. From there, we step into the realm of distant visions. Imagine a candle burning in a dark room. At first it burns bright, then slower, dimmer, until only a faint glow remains. So too might the universe. Not tomorrow, not in a billion years, but in a span of time so immense that the human mind cannot truly grasp it. Usable energy thins out, stars go out, matter cools. Everywhere becomes uniform and still, cold, like a winter night that never ends. This is called heat death, a death by cold. Not noisy, not explosive. It is as if the universe slowly sinks into a very deep sleep. A sleep without dreams. And strangely, this thought doesn't have to frighten us. It is like looking at a very distant winter, gentle and quiet, where everything is simply resting. There is another possibility, fragile as a lightning flash. Physicists call it vacuum decay. It sounds worrying, but really, it is just a hypothesis that our universe may not be in the most stable state. If a new vacuum bubble were to appear, it could spread at the speed of light and change all the laws of physics. No pain, no warning, just the universe quietly shifting into a different kind of reality. It would be like a calm surface of water that suddenly changes color under moonlight. One instant of transformation, but with a calmness that is hard to describe. There is also the idea that the universe will not expand forever. One day, the force driving expansion could weaken. Space might stop stretching. Galaxies could begin to move back toward one another, drawn together, and everything would contract, like a chest pulling in its final breath. Then the universe would collapse into an extremely small point, similar to the very beginning. But instead of ending, it might bounce back and expand again, a big bounce, a heartbeat of reality. The universe dies so that a new one can be born, like the cycle of a flower, a leaf, a gust of wind. If dark energy not only stays constant but grows stronger, another scenario appears: the Big Rip. The expanding force becomes so powerful that it tears apart galaxies, then stars, then even atoms. Not in an explosion, but in an endless stretching, like a strip of silk pulled so tight that it splits into tiny threads. Though it sounds dramatic, there is a strange kind of poetry in this, a complete dissolving into light. And as you listen to these possibilities, endless cold, slow contractions, sudden shifts of the vacuum, hidden cycles beneath the darkness, you might notice something often forgotten. None of these scenarios are things to be afraid of. They unfold on timescales beyond imagining. They do not exist to threaten us, but to remind us that everything that had a beginning will one day have an end. But those endings lie so far away that they become stories to contemplate, not burdens to carry. Because the most important thing, the only thing that truly matters for you tonight, is this moment, this breath, this soft heartbeat that feels like the universe whispering inside your chest. You are lying in your small room, on a little blue planet, within a vast but gentle universe. And as your mind softens and slows, you will feel the story gently guiding you toward its final chapter, where the universe is not just a backdrop, but a place you truly belong to. And when those distant cosmic futures dissolve into the quiet, the endless cold, the slow breathing of expansion and contraction, the subtle shifting of the vacuum, the hidden loops behind darkness, you may feel something very subtle, that no matter which ending the universe chooses, its journey and yours is still unfolding right now. Not fast, not slow, not panicked, just continuing. Like you're breathing at this very moment, in, storyteller, and out, steady, gentle, without effort. And in that soft moment, when your mind is suspended between two breaths, as if standing on the threshold between waking and dreaming, we quietly open the final chapter of tonight. A chapter no longer about endings, but about continuation, about you, about the universe, and about the invisible thread that connects you both. Let your body relax a little more. Light as though you're lying on a blanket woven from distant starlight. Let me tell you this, no matter how old the universe grows, no matter how many stars go out, no matter how thin the cosmic air becomes, there is still one journey you always carry with you. That journey lives in every atom you are made of, in every breath, in every heartbeat, and it began a very long time ago. When light was not yet free, when the earliest vibrations sowed the seeds for the galaxies to come. You are part of that story. When you close your eyes, you may feel this even more clearly. Every atom in your body was once the remnant of a star, a distant star that once lived, burned with all its might until the very last moment, then exploded, eventually giving rise to you here and now. The heartbeat you hear now is the continuation of another rhythm from billions of years ago, when the first supernovae lit up the primordial darkness. But tonight you do not have to hold all of that. You don't have to understand it all or remember it all or force it to make sense. You just need to let that story rest inside you. Like a warm dream, like a gentle secret the universe has saved just for you. Now, allow yourself to let go. Let go of big questions and small ones. Let go of thoughts that haven't yet found an answer. Let go of the current of worries that keeps on flowing. Imagine your mind as a leaf just falling from a branch, floating weightless through the air, then touching down softly on a still lake. No sound, no jolt, just a landing as gentle as the first breath of peace. The universe will go on telling its story. Galaxies will keep spinning. Rays of light will keep wandering through the void. Tiny dust grains will keep losing their way and finding each other again. Whether you are awake or not, whether you see it or not, whether you think about it or not, the story continues. But tonight, the universe doesn't need you to watch it. It doesn't need you to explore, to analyze, to understand it completely. It only needs you to sleep. To sleep deeply, as a natural part of that same journey. Because even as you sink into dreams, you are still a part of the universe, still a part of the story written by light and time. Feel your breathing slow down, a little, then a little more. With each breath out, imagine placing one small stone down from your shoulders. With each breath in, imagine you are gathering the entire night sky into your chest. You and the universe now no longer feel separate. Let your mind drift farther away, like a boat pushing off from the shore, with no oars, no direction, simply letting the night wind carry it. Away from worry, away from noise, away from the endless loops of thought, drifting toward a place where everything is as light as a cloud, as soft as the last light of day. And before you sink completely into sleep, I want to whisper one sentence to you. The sentence the universe seems to whisper every night in the cold hum of its background radiation. You are vaster than you think, and gentler than you know. I wish you a sleep that is deep and kind. I wish your mind drifts very far, following the gentle heartbeat of space. And I wish you, a small person under an endless sky, will find peace resting between two breaths. Sleep well.